So you can figure this out. Okay, you can figure this out. I have already explained it in detail in the previous derivation. So I don't want to confuse you with these symbols RC, RB, and RA. Now, just by replicating the steps which we have done in the derivation, you will be able to find out this star delta transformation. Let us take up one more example. So I'm giving you a star network. So this is 20 ohm. Convert this into a delta network. Now what is this? Let's say we take this as RA, and this we are taking it as RC, and this we are taking it as RB. Now what will be this resistance, what will be this resistance, and what will be this? Like for example, let's say if you want to take this as R2, this will be nothing but RA RB plus RB RC plus RC RD divided by, you see what is there in the opposite arm. So this will be what? RB, that is 5 ohm. Now this will give you the value for R2. So if you calculate, you will be getting around 70 ohm. In the same way, when you find for this, let's say for example, so this will be RA RB plus RB RC plus RC RD divided by, you'll see what is there in the opposite arm. So this will be RA. Now when you find out, you will be getting something around 35 ohm. In the same way, maybe you can take this as R1. So this is occurring between this 5 ohm as well as the 10 ohm resistance, and you see what is there in the other arm. That will be 20 ohm, that is RC. So you will have everything, whatever you have here, divided by RC. RBRC plus RCRA. So this will be around 17.5 ohm. So that will take me to the next topic, that is superposition theorem. So I'm seeing here, none of you have any queries regarding these two topics. It's simple, but I don't want to solve any problems specific to the star delta conversion. But when we are trying to analyze some complex circuit, at some point of time we may have to use this star delta conversion to simplify the circuit. Now, what is the superposition theorem? Now, if I am giving you a circuit which has maybe two sources, let's say a given circuit has two sources, and I am asking you to find the current that is flowing through a particular element in that particular circuit as a result of these two sources. Okay, so let's say you have two independent sources in a given circuit, and you are asked to find the excitation or the response of these two sources, or the response of a particular element in the circuit to these two sources, and then how will you obtain that? So for that you can use the superposition theorem. Let's say when you have two independent sources, and it can be either a voltage source or current source. Okay, and let's say when you are trying to analyze the effect of the voltage source, and what you can do, you can just open circuit the current source, and similarly when you are trying to analyze this particular source separately, then you can actually short circuit the voltage source, and then you can you'll take one particular source at a time and then add the response of these two to get the net response of these two sources in the circuit. Now I will try to explain this with the help of one example. Before that, I will put before you this superposition theorem. Like in any linear network which contains two or more sources, the response in any element will be equal to the algebraic sum of responses caused by the individual sources acting alone. So you'll be taking one source at a time, and then you will be either open circuiting or short circuiting the remaining sources depending on whether it is a voltage source or a current source. And then while considering the effect of individual sources, the other ideal voltage sources are either replaced by short circuit or open circuit, and then you will be finding the algebraic sum of the two responses. So this will be clear to you when I take up a particular example. Okay, so how many sources are there? So here you have an independent voltage source, and here you have an independent current source. Now I am interested to find what is the net current that will be flowing through this 3 ohm resistance. So two sources are simultaneously in operation, and I am interested to know how much current is flowing through this 3 ohm resistance. So how will I do it? Using superposition theorem. First of all, let me take one source at a time. First, I will redraw this circuit with only this 20 volt source. So find the current passing through the 3 ohm resistance. Now the first part is, let me take that the current that is flowing through this 3 ohm resistance due to this 20 volt voltage source is I1 ampere, and let me take that the current that is flowing through this particular resistance due to this 5 ampere current source to be, let's say, I2 ampere, and then ultimately I want to find out I1 plus I2 to find the net current that is flowing through this 3 ohm resistance. So now let me redraw the circuit with only this 20 volt source, and when I am considering one source at a time, I will either open circuit or short circuit the remaining sources depending on whether it is a voltage source or a current source. So here I have a current source, better I will open circuit it, and if it is another voltage source, then I would have short circuited it. Okay, I have open circuited, and that's it. So this is the 3 ohm resistance, and this is the 5 ohm, and this is the 20 volt source. And now you will be able to tell what is the current I1 that is flowing through this particular resistance. So what is I1? I1 is nothing but this voltage 20 divided by what is the resistance in this part? 5 plus 3. Now this will be approximately 2.5 ampere. So this is the current by taking one source, and let me do the same with the next source. So what is this I2? This is the current due to the 5 ampere independent current source. Now when I redraw the circuit, let me take a look at the circuit which I have drawn previously. Now I will be analyzing the circuit with only this source, that is the 5 ampere source. So therefore this is a voltage source, so what I can do, I can short circuit this. Had it been a current source, I would have open circuited. So this is a voltage source, so I am short circuiting it. So since I have short circuited the voltage source, here I will have this 5 ohm resistance, this is 3 ohm resistance, so now you can very easily use current division rule, because you see the same current 5A will also reach here through this 10 ohm resistance, and then here at this point it gets divided. Now using this current division rule, you will be able to see how much current is actually flowing through this 3 ohm resistance. So what will be this I2? I2 will be nothing but the total current 5 into the other branch resistance 5 divided by the total resistance, that is 5 plus 3. So you will be getting how much? You will be getting around 3.125 ampere. So we have computed I2, we have computed I1. So therefore the total current I will be I1 plus I2. So this is the total current I in the 3 ohm resistor due to the 20 volt and 5 ampere independent sources. So this will be, previously we got around 2.5 and here we got around 3.125. So ultimately 5.625 ampere current flows through that particular circuit. Let me take a look if somebody has any question. So no question, so I am proceeding further. Let us take up one more example. To understand the superposition theorem. So you can take down this question. Find the current I is equal to I dash plus I double dash flowing through the 4 ohm resistance due to the 2 independent voltage sources, 3 volt and 5 volt. Using superposition theorem. Now, instead of giving in the same circuit, I am giving in 2 different circuits, 2 different sources. But other than the sources, the remaining part of the circuit is same. And the other circuit is yeah, we have all the required data. So 2 circuits are there. So there are ultimately 2 sources here and here. In the circuit, the circuit is same, but the source here I am using the 5 volt source and here I am using 3 volt source. Let's say if these two sources are connected to the circuit simultaneously, what will be the current that is flowing through the 4 ohm resistance? And you note here in this particular question, the direction of the current is also given. So when you answer, you will have to answer in as per this direction that is given. So always bear that in mind. Now here in this question, the direction of the current is given. Now when you answer accordingly. Now let us take up the first circuit. You can do the nodal analysis. You can find what is the current that is flowing through this 4 ohm resistance, that is I dash. And then after that you come back to the second circuit, then find the current I double dash that is flowing, and then ultimately you can find I dash plus I double dash. So let me see if there is any question. So no question, so I am proceeding further. Now let us try to find I dash. Now to make it much more simple, let me assign the nodes. Let's say I am taking node A, node B, and let this be a reference node. Again here node A, node B. Let me take this as circuit A and let this be circuit B. Now I am trying to find this I dash. Now I can write the nodal equation at node A. So when I write this nodal equation, I will be assuming that this node A is at a higher potential than all other nodes, and therefore the current flows from this node to the other places. So therefore when I take the direction of the current in here, here and here, so I will be getting VA, which is the potential at node A, minus which you have here 5 divided by this 3 ohm resistance. So that will be the current that is flowing through this path, plus VA minus 0 divided by 4, and then VA minus VB divided by 2. So that will be the current that is flowing in this direction. So this will be one equation which you can further simplify. So when you simplify and rearrange, I am writing it directly. 1 by 3 will be getting 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2 minus VB by 2 minus 5 by 3 is equal to 0. Now maybe you can simplify this, try to multiply it by 12, you will be getting around 30 times VA minus 6 times VB is equal to 20. Let us take this as the first equation. So in the circuit A, let's analyze node B. When you analyze node B, so when you analyze this node B, you will be assuming that node B is at a higher potential than the other nodes. So therefore, current will be flowing from this higher potential to the other lower potential. So we will take the currents in this direction, and this direction. So ultimately now we have the currents like this, here, here and then here. So this will be VB minus VA divided by 2 plus VB by 1 plus 2 times V1. So this is equal to 0. And now we can try to find this V1 in terms of VA. If you can take a closer look at the circuit. Now, how can you relate this VA with V1? Now, if you can find or if you can subtract this V1, that is the voltage drop across this 3 ohm resistance, okay, if you can subtract this V1 from the voltage 5V, you will be getting the voltage that is actually appearing across this particular point. So that will be your VA, right? So this VA is nothing but 5 minus this V1. 5 minus this V1. So that will be your VA. So you can substitute this, you can use this here. So ultimately by rearranging, maybe you can multiply it by 2, you'll be getting around 5 times minus 5 times VA plus 3 times VB is equal to minus 20. I am writing this directly. The simple mathematical part, you can do it by yourself. Maybe one more step I can write. So this will be your second equation. And now if you can solve this equation 1 and 2, you can use your calculator, solve 1 and 2, you will be getting VA as well as VB. But VB is not important for us. We are interested only in VA because the current I dash can be obtained with the help of this VA. Now we will be getting this VA to be minus 6.67 volt, and you know that I dash, if you look at the direction, now I want you to pay. Now in this circuit, see, in this circuit, the direction of the current I dash is given in this way. But if you rightly remember the way in which you had analyzed the circuit, you had actually taken the current in the opposite direction. Fine? You had actually taken the current in the opposite direction when you analyze the circuit. So ultimately, when you want I dash, it should be minus VA divided by 4 ohm. That's what I said, that since the direction is given here, you will have to answer accordingly. Had this direction not been there, then it's okay. So I dash will be nothing but minus of VA divided by 4. So we'll be getting approximately 1.67 ampere. So this will be I dash. So this is only part of our answer, but not the complete answer. Now we need to again analyze the second circuit if you want to find I double dash. Now further, let me take you back to the question which I gave. Now here already we have marked the nodes. Again you can repeat the same steps. You can analyze this node A, you can analyze this node B, and then you can find I double dash. Again, remember that when you actually find the I double dash, you should be it should be minus of VA minus 3 divided by 4. So don't forget the minus, because the current direction that is given is in the opposite direction of what we had actually assumed during the analysis. So you can analyze node A, you can analyze node B, and then you can finally find I double dash. So I'll be very brief. Let's say if you take node A, again repeating the same steps, you'll be getting around VA by 3 plus VA minus 3 divided by 4 plus VA minus VB by 2. So this will be 0. Now when you simplify, maybe when you try to multiply by 12, you'll be getting around 13 times VA minus 6 times VB, approximately 9. So this will be third equation. And similarly, when you analyze node B, so what you will be getting, quite similar to what you got previously. So you will be getting around VA by 2 plus what you will take you back to the circuit. Now take a closer look at this particular second circuit. So how is this V1 related with VA? See here, VA is nothing but this is VA, right? Now what is this VA? VA, it is nothing but minus of V1. Look at the polarity here. This is minus plus, but here it is plus minus. So therefore VA is nothing but minus of V1. So I'll be getting V1 is equal to minus of VA. You can substitute this here, and then maybe you can multiply this equation by 2. You will get something like VA plus 3 times VB minus 4 times VA is equal to 0. You can simplify this further. We're getting minus 5 VA plus 3 times VB is equal to 0. Take it as the fourth equation. Then you can solve equation number 3 and 4. So while solving, you will be getting both VA and VB, but we are interested in only VA because VA is sufficient to find I double dash is equal to 3 volt. Again, when you go back to this circuit, so what is this I double dash? I double dash is nothing but minus of VA minus 3 by this 4 ampere. during the analysis, the direction of the current that we have taken is actually in this direction, but in your question, the direction is already given in this exactly opposite direction. So therefore, when you finally try to answer what is I double dash, you should take that into consideration. So I double dash will be minus of VA minus 3 by 4. So this will be, if you see, VA already we have got it as 3, so ultimately this will be 0 ampere. So I is nothing but I dash plus I double dash, the algebraic sum of the effect that was produced by the two sources independently. So that will be 1.67 ampere ultimately. So this is our answer, and let me see if there is any questions. Okay, so now I have a very important announcement to make related to your assignment. So I hope rather than adopting a conventional method of me giving you a set of questions and you solving that and scanning it and uploading, so I am suggesting you a better method for your assignments. So this will be both assignment 1 and assignment 2. Okay, now you can select 25 questions for this and 25 questions for this, and the questions that you select should be the multiple choice questions from previous question papers of GATE. So you can, your electronics and communication engineering students, you can go to the internet and you can search GATE 2020 or 2021 EC syllabus, and there in fact you will find the topics from different subjects in your engineering, but at the same time you will also find questions related to whatever we have discussed so far and whatever we will be discussing in the next 2 or 3 classes, that is Thevenin's theorem and Norton's theorem. So with that, this particular module will be over, but so far we have studied nodal analysis, mesh analysis, superposition theorem, current division, voltage division, and all this. So how the elements connected in series will react and how elements connected in parallel will react to applied voltage or current. So all this we have studied. Now you can select the questions from this. Again, when you search, you will be getting solved GATE questions. If you want to know the full form for GATE, it is actually Graduate Aptitude Test in Engineering. And if you are competent enough to answer the questions that are asked here, which means you are prepared enough to crack any competitive examination. So whenever you study any subject, you should simultaneously be able to solve the multiple choice questions which is previously been asked in this particular examination. You can get questions online. Now you are free to select any 25 questions related to this particular subject, related to the topic that has been discussed in the class. You solve it and you can take your time. You can take your time till So your semester might go on till February, but you can till end of January 2021. So I am giving you 1 month time. You can select the questions. You can solve it by yourself, and then I will be generating the link which you can upload. So if you have any questions related to this assignment, you may ask now because I am going to unmute you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Two, sir. What is assignment 2?
So this will be actually assignment 1 and assignment 2. So 25 questions here and 25 questions here. Mostly related to your the topics related to your curriculum. Fine. So 25 plus 20, 50 questions you will have to select from the previous year question papers. You are free to select any question that has been asked previously, and you can solve it.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, in the first question, there is a problem. So please open that slide. First question.
First question means
Problem number 13, sir. And
problem number 13.
14, sir.
Okay.
14, sir.
This one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, no, it's the second part of this question.
Okay, okay. Is this one?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Okay.
here 5 ohm and 3 ohm are in parallel now. Then,
Yes.
then
Yeah,
you
there is
consider
also
like
another.
series 5 plus 3 total resistance.
Yeah, that I have actually applied the current division rule, which I have already discussed in the class. In addition to that, you can also apply this other method in which you can find the overall resistance of this. Okay, but finding you are telling that these two resistance are in parallel, and I should have found the R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2, but that won't help because
yes.
I want the current that is flowing through this 3 ohm resistance. So what I have done, I have used the current division rule. Now I have already discussed this in the class. Now suppose this is the current that is flowing here, and at this particular point, let's say it gets divided into, let's say I1, this is I, and let's say this gets divided into I1 and I2 through the resistances R1 and R2. Now how will I find this current I2? So that is what I have applied here. Okay, so that is nothing but the total current that is coming here, that is nothing but 5 ampere into the other branch resistance. So if you have many more resistances here, then you can find the combination of all that. Now here I have only a 5 ohm resistance, so therefore it is that other branch resistance divided by the total resistance. So that will give me I2. You can go back and refer the notes which we have which you have written for the current division rule which we have studied. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So many hands are raised.
Yeah,
what I want.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
In problem number 15, sir.
Problem number 15. Okay, I'll
Yes.
go to problem number 15.
To find I double dash.
Okay, is this one?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
How you write, sir, VA upon 3, sir?
This one? This time?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, VA upon 3.
Wait. Okay, so this was missing in the question. That's why probably you got confused. Okay, this I have not provided. Now is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So
Now clear, sir.
now it's the same circuit basically. These two are same. Only thing here I have connected the 5 volt voltage source here, and here I have connected the 3 volt. Ultimately, the question is what is the net effect of these two, or the total current that is flowing through this 4 ohm resistance due to these two voltage sources. Okay, sir.
Sir,
Thank you, sir.
sir,
Others, Pradeep.
Hello, sir.
sir,
Sir.
the same question.
Same question. Okay. Is it answered?
Sir, in the last question, 15th question, 15th problem.
Okay. What is your question?
Sir, here C is also known as, sir, VA minus VC by 4